So I just wanted to take a moment to talk about how I am so grateful that I live in Canada after watching all that's been going on in the US right now with their healthcare system. And I've got a helper today. His name is Cal. Say hi, Cal. Hi. He won't leave me alone, so I'm just going to continue with him. But yeah, just watching everything that's going on right now and how I can't believe that there's actually a group of people who have such a disregard for the rest of the population. They do not care whatsoever that people are going to die. And they talk about taking accountability, and you're telling me that a baby born with congenital heart disease should take accountability. My friend who was born with scoliosis, she should just take accountability. People who develop, diseases from secondhand smoke, they should just take accountability. People who are in car accidents and were hit by somebody else, they should just take accountability. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And some of these pre-existing conditions, like rape, is a pre-existing condition? What? Just be accountable. You've got to be kidding me. And the idea that rape is a pre-existing condition and giving birth is a pre-existing condition. These are the most pro-birth people. And now pregnancy is, you're penalized for having babies. It's like they want it both ways. You can't have birth control, you can't have abortions, you can't have health care. We're going to penalize you for having children. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And I cannot believe that these people have any sort of power and any sort of say whatsoever. There's Paul Ryan. I'm not normally violent. But Paul Ryan, I would love to punch him right in his smug face. Somebody did an interview with him and asked him how many people were going to lose their health care. He's like, I don't know. And he literally laughed at the question. He does not care. These people do not care. And it's scary because they all have health care. Their health care comes through their jobs. So it's doesn't affect them any. And it's just if I get sick, I can go to the doctor. If I need a prescription, I can go to the doctor. I need birth control, I can go to the doctor. I don't, because I had a tubal ligation about 7 years ago. And guess what? It was paid for through my health care. All I had to do was pay for my prescription, which was painkillers. My mother had kidney disease while I was growing up. And, she was in and out of hospital. For a decade, she was in and out of hospital. She had multiple transplants, at least 2, if not 3. And that kind of care would bankrupt people. I have a friend whose family, she's from the Philippines, and her family literally has to make the decision when someone gets terminal or someone gets ill, whether or not they're going to pay for treatment or let that family member go. In the 3 years I worked with her, she had to do that twice. She would send money home to her family in the Philippines. And, after a while, they would have to make the decision, do we continue treatment or do we cut off treatment and literally let this person die? This is a decision they have to make. And this is in the Philippines. So you're saying the U.S. should have the equivalent healthcare of people in the Philippines? Are you seriously? And this idea that they and you hear Paul Ryan talk about how that it's accessible. Part of something being accessible, part of your healthcare being accessible, is that it's also affordable. If it's not affordable, it's not accessible. Get that thought right out of your head right now, because if people can't afford to buy it, then it's not accessible. Just because, you don't put in any legal ramifications and legal rulings that certain groups of people can't have it, doesn't mean that you've made it accessible. You're an ass. You're a smug ass for thinking that. And to say it, like you're butt fucking people and you're not even buying them drinks first. Like, it's so bad. And so, yes, our healthcare system has issues, right? Like, we don't have enough doctors. There's long wait times for things that there shouldn't be wait times for. But families don't go bankrupt. People don't have to make the decision of, hey, you know what? We can't afford to keep grandma alive anymore. We should probably just let her go. Young women can get birth control. Young women can get what they need. I can go and I can get a pap smear. I can get a mammogram. You have an entire show, Breaking Bad, that's based on how terrible your healthcare system, is. Like, that wouldn't happen in Canada. There's a meme going around, it's like, Breaking Bad in Canada. It's like, oh, you've been diagnosed with cancer. Treatment starts Monday. And that's the end of it. Like, because we don't do that. We don't torture people who are already sick. So, you know what? Like, especially Paul Ryan, but to the conservatives, fuck you. You are horrible people. Horrible. You should be ashamed of yourselves. And if I was an American, I would be all over this. All over this. I feel so bad for the poor in the U.S. I really do. I feel so, and not even just the poor. I feel bad for Americans. I feel bad for every woman, child, man. I really feel for you, and good luck, and we're rooting for you. And I'm